Good morning, friends. Happy Monday. Here's your Monday Minute. Today we have Trevor sharing with us, and Trevor is our content development coordinator at Mayfield. And I wanted to invite Trevor here to talk a little bit about the concept of self-care. And self-care is a really big buzzword that we hear a lot these days, but I think there's some really specific things that we can learn about the concept of self-care to do it really well. So I'm going to pass it off to Trevor and let him tell us.
Thanks, Julia.
Yeah.
So I came up with this worksheet a little while ago because I felt like self-care gets talked about and it's always this, we're going to go sit in a field and listen to the birds and the bees and the sound of nature and be calm and one with ourselves. And I feel like that's not very easy to do or what feeds a lot of us. And so I was thinking about self-care in this perspective of reliable and effective.
Okay.
And so what I did is I created this worksheet, and we'll be posting it in the description. Basically, it's taking the science approach of we've got two vials. We've got a vial of what's reliable and a vial of what's effective. And what goes in the reliable vial is something that you have access to most of the time.
Yeah.
So like, one thing for me is reading books, and I can carry a book around with me most of the time. I can just always have it and maybe read on a break or between things. What's in the effective is something that really, really fills you, makes you feel recovered, rejuvenated, healthy, all of these things.
Okay.
So that might be the let's go sit in a field for a few hours and listen to the sounds of nature and be one with all of things.
Yes.
But, you know, that's not reliable. You can't do that whenever you want.
Yeah.
Kind of like how going to a beach could be really effective, but you can't go there. And it's important for us to have as much as we can think of in both of these so we know what we can pull from. And then the goal is to mix them together into this concoction that we can call my self-care. And once we have that, we have something that's both effective and reliable. And so books, for me, are both reliable and effective. I feel really good when I'm able to just read for a little bit, even if it's 5 minutes. And then the really important thing is to put an effective date on it, or expiration date, because our self-care needs will change as we grow. And so it's not going to be the same thing year after year after year. So we may have to evaluate something after 2 weeks or 2 years, maybe. So that is the concept of the science of self-care.
I love that. And I think sometimes people, myself included, feel really overwhelmed at the concept of self-care. And so sometimes what I've had to do is almost make a list of all the things that I needed to do. And then using this structure, you can kind of parse out, okay, is eating a chocolate bar effective or reliable? Is taking a vacation effective or reliable? Is a phone call with a friend effective or reliable? And then you can kind of separate them out and find kind of that sweet spot, that combination of what's both effective and reliable, to really be able to care for yourself in different seasons of life. And I love that you put an expiration date on it, because I think different seasons really do call for different needs. And sometimes self-care isn't always a bubble bath or something fluffy or extra. I think sometimes self-care could be creating a budget sheet or cleaning your house or doing the dishes. And so don't be afraid to kind of think outside the box of what do we need to create some margin in our lives so that we can breathe. And sometimes that is a vacation or a day off, but sometimes that's doing all the residual stuff around us so that we can live our lives and breathe knowing that we vacuumed this weekend or something like that. So I just want to encourage you guys to take some time and think through what really creates margin and freedom in your life that you can put under the self-care bucket. And then use what Trevor shared with us about being effective and reliable. And don't forget to put that expiration date on it to kind of revisit afterwards. All right, friends, get yourselves to Friday. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.